Welcome to Reverent and Rebellious, a safe space for faith-based conversations on the things that nobody seems to want to talk about these days. We are reverent, we value truth, we elevate scripture, but we are also rebellious. We shatter myths and we destroy dogma, so jump in. Join us, Logan, Pat, and me, the brother Peter, as we get reverent and we get rebellious.
What's up?
Everything is up.
Logan, what's up with your shirt?
Hey, actually, it fits the vibe, or it's going to fit the topic for tonight.
I wore a different shirt.
I
have a bleach stain on this one.
I see that.
One little light spot.
Yeah, that's not a true black shirt you got there.
I don't know why I just decided to wear a black shirt 2 weeks in a row. This is a different black shirt than I wore last week, but it's still a black shirt.
Yeah.
See, viewers, I'm rubbing off on them.
They're going to the dark side over here.
It was just easy, I guess, tonight.
Yeah. 90% of my T-shirts are black.
Why not?
Yeah, it's just an easy color.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's bad for me being a farmer because I'm in the sun. I wear the hottest shirt all the time.
Yeah.
I've said it time and time again. I've had so many people ask me, why do you wear black shirts every day? And it's because I'm colorblind. That's why.
I'm not colorblind, though, so I don't even have a good excuse. Black is my favorite color.
Well, I am, and I got made fun of a lot for the way I dressed when I was in elementary school, so I started really young wearing black T-shirts. I tried the white T-shirt thing, but come to find out I'm messy. And so
got a dirty white
t-shirt.
shirt.
like I had to point out the bleach stain to
Barbecue stain on his white T-shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know the rest of the lyrics.
She was looking good in that mini skirt.
There you go. Yeah.
Something Kenny Chesney tractor.
Yeah.
Is that Kenny Chesney?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, he probably wasn't checking no woman out then. Any of you Kenny Chesney fans, that'll make you mad right off the bat.
See what I did there.
If you want to get made more mad, then you got to keep listening. But first, we need you to hit that like button, hit subscribe.
Do it.
And want you to leave us a comment. You're going to hear your comments read in just a second. Also, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Audible, wherever you listen, leave us 5 stars and share this with your friends. Every area that you listen to a podcast, it has some sort of share mechanism on there. You can copy the link, you can share it. So just send it to one friend. That's my ask this week is to send it to one person you think might like it.
We live in metrics. We need the metrics to come through. I don't care if it's YouTube, Spotify, Sydney, if it's Facebook,
we
whatever
just
it
want
is.
traffic, lots of traffic.
Yes,
because this helps. It helps everything. It helps people get all this wealth of cultural and biblical knowledge.
Yep.
I mean, drink it from the fountain.
That's it.
That's right.
Or the fire hose sometimes.
Yeah, like sometimes.
we've got we're up to 33 5-star
That's
ratings
good.
on Apple. So we've gained a couple since I last looked on there. Let me see if our friends over on Spotify, how they're doing. We're at 31.
Okay.
I think we're up. I think we were at 29 over there.
Yeah.
So
we got a couple more.
So we're chipping away. So guys,
away.
just like I said, send it to one person you think might like it. Go pick out your favorite episode and send it to them. So
there
you go.
All right.
Absolutely.
So speaking of Sydney, her mom, Amber, would love her comments.
Amber's MVP.
She is. She literally made me laugh at some of these. All right. So her first comment is, cryptocurrency seems a little like monopoly money to me, but maybe I'm just old. Amber, you're not old. You're a trooper.
No.
And then she says, yes, yes, bo-assless chaps. Do it, PJ. Too funny. And me and Logan are pressuring Peter to do it.
Yes.
And then we had one, I forget.
Are you going to attempt to read this?
I'm going to attempt
you got to.
Forgive me, Florida Spinka.
Yeah.
If I get this wrong.
Just proves that this is not just our own little community listening in, watching in, checking
That's right.
it out.
Yeah, we have no idea who this is.
No,
They may or may not be a cyborg.
A new friend.
He's a new viewer, and he says, amazing video. Thanks for sharing. Just a quick off-topic question. I'm looking for advice on sending USDT from my OKX wallet to Bybit. And I have these words: clap, zone, acid, tube, also, among, tape, museum, boy, film, soda, salt.
I feel like this is a code of some
I think
sort.
so too.
It's gotta be.
But he says,
Gotta be.
"How should I send the USDT?" I'm gonna be honest with you, Florida Spinka. I understand about 2% of
Yeah,
And-
you're clearly more advanced at this than we
Yeah,
are.
and
you know what, Pat,
no joke here. I mean, I'm serious. If send us an email, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think what happened right now is when you put those words in sequence and uttered them, I think you opened garage doors in China.
I was going to say
Oh,
something.
really?
Yeah, I think you did.
Something's got to
Satellite
be going on there.
bouncing around, and yeah. So, who knows? But we are not that advanced yet.
Yeah. And if you got me to read something bad on the air, kudos to you, because I still don't get it.
Yeah.
So
I don't either. I'm about to ask my Terminator friend if it
Ask
can
him.
decipher this message for us, and see.
But
Y'all-
Amber, you're always right there for us, and we appreciate it. And Florida Spinka, I'm glad you wrote into.
Yes.
Thank
Sure,
you. Even excuse me for not understanding. I'm not that literate when it comes to this kind of language.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm a lot more literate today than I was the day before we did that episode.
Right? Yeah.
That's kind of
This
where I'm at.
says the comment from them is spam/scam.
Oh.
It says they've inserted a generic compliment about the video. Thanks, and then quickly pivot into an unrelated off-topic question. The random string of words in parentheses is meant to look like a seed phrase or security phrase, something that could be used to access a crypto wallet.
Ah.
So it's completely unrelated to the video. And those words are similar in format to a 12, 24 word crypto. Bottom line, it's just crypto scam spam.
So
Well-
it says they are similar in format. No, what was it? Structured to look like a help request, but is actually a scam tactic to attract replies or direct contact.
Yep.
Well, joke's on you. None of us have a crypto wallet.
Yeah. Well, and
I got a Dusto wallet, and
Right.
all in it is dust.
we're not interested in direct contact. So
Yep.
there you go.
No,
There you go.
no.
So
There you go. You keep your spam.
I'm glad you did or did not think that was an amazing video.
That's right.
So there you go. Just update. My baseball team is winning.
Hey,
It's in the bottom of the 8th.
who they playing?
Chicago White Sox.
Hey,
Yeah, we're supposed to be winning those games, but sometimes we play down to our competition. So, all is well in my world.
All right.
We're just about getting ready to start a brand new sermon series, a journey through Exodus.
Nice.
I'm so ready for it.
Nice.
Yeah, we may have to do a little episode or two on Exodus as
That'd
we
be cool.
get cranked up, because there is some really fascinating stuff. I
Really
mean,
is.
it
So
is
many hyperlinks.
more than you even know, and I will be exposing all of them as we go along. But
You hear that? Peter's going to expose himself.
I'm going
They're gonna
to
be witnessing.
Yes, exactly. But I do have a little story for you. This
Okay.
is, this
All
is
right.
a little bit longer than I usually do, but the payoff I think is fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to read this word for word because it's written in a very literary style. Okay, so the desert stretched endlessly in every direction. A vast, merciless expanse of golden dunes and shimmering heat waves. The fugitive ran, lungs burning, legs heavy as lead. Behind him, distant sirens wailed, a reminder that time was running out. He had escaped the city, dodged the police, but out here, under the unrelenting sun, his biggest enemy wasn't the law, it was survival. His canteen was nearly empty, his throat parched like the cracked earth. Each step felt heavier than the last, and just as his knees threatened to buckle, he saw it, an oasis. A spark of hope reignited in his chest. He forced his aching body forward, half stumbling, half running towards salvation. But as he drew closer, his desperate eyes focused on the peculiar sight before him. There was no lush greenery, no glistening pool of water, just an old man, sitting behind a tiny wooden stand, shaded by a faded cloth canopy. The man greeted him with a smile. Rows of neatly arranged neckties in every color and pattern lay in front of him. The fugitive collapsed to his knees, gasping, "Water! Do you have any water?" The old man gave a sympathetic shake of his head. "Afraid not, son, but I've got some fine neckties. Just $5 apiece." The fugitive's cracked lips curled into a scowl. He He clenched his fists, barely resisting the urge to throttle the old man. Do I look like I need a tie? I'm dying out here. The old man simply shrugged. No need to get worked up, friend, but I'll do you a favor. About 3 miles over that hill, you'll find a restaurant. Best food around and all the ice-cold water you can drink. Water. That was all the fugitive needed to hear. Without another word, he staggered to his feet and stumbled away, driven by sheer willpower and thirst. Hours passed. The old man adjusted his chair, watching the horizon, and then he saw it. A small, broken figure crawled toward him, his body weak, his lips cracked, his breath shallow. The fugitive barely made it back to the stand before collapsing onto his back in the sand. His voice was nothing more than a whisper, a final plea. The old man leaned in. Everything okay? With the last of his strength, the fugitive croaked. They won't let me in without a tie.
I knew it. That's where it was.
The old man sighed, shaking his head. Told you they were a great deal.
As soon as you said over that hill, I was like, oh, it's a black tie only.
Yep, that's exactly. I was waiting on it.
Yep.
That one's kind of got like a Norm Macdonald vibe to it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
It's a long build up.
Slow burn,
like the Dirty Johnny joke.
Yeah,
that one.
That's classic.
If you are curious, I'm going to warn you. It's a foul joke.
Yeah,
but it is so hilarious. If you're a Norm Macdonald fan, you kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
But long build up, good yield.
They won't let me in without a tie.
Speaking of good yield, what are we talking about tonight?
Man, we are going to continue our little taboo series. What did we start with? We started with what did we do 2 episodes ago?
Movies.
Movies. Yes, we did. Should Christians even watch movies of other people sinning? So you can go back and catch that one. Last week it was cryptocurrency. Is it the latest greatest thing, or is it the mark of the beast?
Demonic?
Yes. And we really don't know.
There's still a lot to be unveiled there.
I just read that comment, and I have no idea.
We talked about it being alternate currency. Well, Scripture tells us the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil.
Yes.
So maybe it still is demonic. But anyway, we sort of lifted the lid on that, took away some of the scare factor about it.
Yep.
And so today we're just gonna tiptoe into a pretty controversial topic.
This one's fun.
Some people are absolutely fanatical about this stuff.
Yeah.
Others are like, no way, get that away from me. It
Drew
is
Mathis.
totally, and it is this wonderful thing we know as the Enneagram.
Bless
the
you.
Christian horoscope.
Yes.
That's exactly what I called it, was the Christian horoscope.
Enneagram. We've all been toying around with it for the last several hours.
And I will say, mine is pretty accurate.
As is mine,
wild. Now, the enthusiasts will say that if you just take one test, it may or may not be like totally accurate.
Yeah.
But I found it to be
pretty accurate.
I've taken several tests, and they all told me I'm a jerk.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so that's what your wife tells me too. So
she's not wrong. She is not wrong.
But anyway, so what's your understanding of the Enneagram? If you were to just, elevator pitch, you're going to tell somebody what the Enneagram is in a few short sentences. What is it?
Your personality type.
Yeah, I would say it's your demeanor and your personality, how you react in situations.
Yep.
So what makes this then different than Myers-Briggs or Strength Finders or any one of those other personality tests?
Well, the first thing is I don't know what those are.
Oh, okay.
So I'm ignorant in more than 80 things, 81. But it's I have unanimously I told you when Peter told me he texted us today what we were talking about.
That's right, this morning,
and
or late morning.
And so I was late morning for us is like 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And I had my brother, his fiance, my wife, everyone was at the house, and I was like, this is what we're talking about. So of course, everyone in my house, they're doing an Enneagram test, and every one of them was like, wow, that's legit. That's me. And that's always been my response for anyone around me who's taken it. I will say it's not 100%, but it's pretty close.
It is.
So what do you think the value is in sort of taking these kinds assessments and things like that. I mean, is there any value in it inherently?
For me, this is what I was explaining to the people at my house. For me, it's not necessarily what it says you are. It's about answering questions about yourself truthfully. And if we can do that self inventory, you don't really need you don't need an Enneagram. If that's just where I'm at with it. If I can ask you, are you pleasant to be around? Would you say people think you're pleasant to be around? And you can be like, well, not slightly agree. You know?
Well,
I like the fact that it kind of, one of the things that was kind of neat to me is it actually shows, like when I saw the type or whatever I was, then it shows your weaknesses and kind of like areas that would trigger or put you in regress or something. And it's like, okay, I can try to adjust those and kind of balance the scales a little bit.
Was it kind of a boost when you read it and it was like a healthy blah 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 is like this and you're like, oh yeah, that's like me.
Just like that.
But then an unhealthy one's like this and I'm like, oh no, that's kind of like me too.
Yeah.
There's this kind of thing where I've taken probably 15 different personality tests,
Right.
you know, and each I find out something interesting with each one of them. But you know, there's one danger where it's like you sort of interpret this as it's telling me who I am, and I'm locked into this, and I cannot behave any differently or I can justify some really annoying behavior.
I'm a Pisces. I'm a Pisces.
It reminded me of your sermon series we just went through, where it's like, is that who I really am?
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of where it is kind of that self evaluation checkpoint.
Well, that's always been my gripe on the horoscope thing is, like I said, I was kind of joking, but it'll be like somebody, well, I've lost my temper and slashed their tires, but I'm just a Taurus, you know what I mean?
But I can say this, like I've read horoscopes and stuff like that before, so I guess I'm going to hell. But I can say that horoscopes are usually so broad that they can fit anyone. But this is very tailored.
Yeah.
And now, granted, is it tailored because you just answered 257 questions about yourself?
Boy, you did answer a lot of questions.
Yeah,
could be. But it is very tailored to you.
One of the things that I will say about a lot of these personality assessments is the least valuable of them only tell you the good things about yourself.
Yeah.
Man,
you're awesome
you
because you know you have insight here, and you have it's like no, the good ones are going to tell you this is what you really stink at.
Yes.
You know, this is what's happening. When you're being dysfunctional. Yeah. Well, so what I think makes so one of the reasons why we're talking about this to set this whole thing up is the Enneagram became a thing in Christian world and church world
last few years,
probably about 5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, let me start by saying this. This is how the Enneagram is defined.
Okay.
It's defined as a personality typing system that describes 9 interconnected personality types, each with distinct motivations, fears, and behaviors.
That's exactly right. And it gets pretty complicated. I mean,
that's a 30,000 view definition.
Something fun we need to do before we because I want us each to eventually reveal what our type is.
We absolutely will.
But I want the listeners to do something. I'm gonna tell you the 9 types, and then I want y'all to comment. I want you to comment as soon as you hear them. What you think we are.
Matter of fact, timestamp it.
Yes, so here we are, 1820.
Okay, so each type has a number, a 1 through a 9.
Yep.
So you might be a 3, you might be a 7, all this stuff.
Yep. And so get your typing fingers ready while I'm saying this, because I want you to say Pat's this, Peter's this, Logan's this.
Yep.
You're right.
Type 1 is a perfectionist.
Yep.
It's the perfectionist. Type 2 is the helper. Type 3 is the achiever. Type 4 is the individualist. Individualist.
Yeah.
Type 5 is the investigator. Type 6 is the loyalist. Type 7 is the enthusiast. Type 8 is the challenger. And type 9 is the peacemaker. There's your 9 types.
Yeah,
Just
so-
type Pat's a 3 or whatever.
Let's as they're getting their typing fingers ready. I want to just sort of unpack these just a little bit, so they have a little bit. Okay, so you said Enneagram 1 is the perfectionist, also known as the reformer, rational, idealistic, principled, purposeful, self-controlled, perfectionistic. That's the reformer or the perfectionist. 2 is the helper, caring, interpersonal, demonstrative, generous, people-pleasing, possessive. Oh, that's me all day.
I was over here pointing to myself. That's me, baby.
Okay, so then there's the achiever, success-oriented, pragmatic, adaptive, excelling, driven, image-conscious. Yeah. The individualist, number 4, sensitive, withdrawn, expressive, dramatic, self-absorbed, temperamental. Okay, so number 5, the investigator is intense and cerebral, perceptive, innovative, secretive, and isolated. The loyalist, number 6, committed, security-oriented type, engaging, responsible, anxious, and suspicious. The enthusiast, number 7, busy, fun-loving, spontaneous, versatile, distractible, scattered.
That's Logan, right?
The challenger, 8, powerful, dominating type, self-confident, decisive, willful, confrontational. And then, of course, 9 is the peacemaker, easygoing, self-effacing, receptive, reassuring, agreeable, and complacent.
Look at the picture for the peacemaker.
So the peacemaker is what every pastor has to be, right?
Well, there are times, honestly, I would say, there are times when when circumstances dictate that we operate in all 9 of these areas at any given time. Because
1 Corinthians 11.
You might be a 7. You might be fun-loving, carefree, but when it's time, when you lose your car keys, all of a sudden you become an investigator.
Yeah, and then Peter walks up on me doing crack in the streets, and he's like, "What are you doing?" So he's a challenger.
I'm a challenger, yes, but only when I'm under the influence. No.
So you're saying a pastor has to be a Greek to Greek, Jew to Jew sometimes?
Oh, absolutely.
Or probably all the time. A lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, we have to kind of dabble in a little bit of everything,
right?
Because you have to just sort of have discernment. What do people need?
And I will tell you, I'm envious of you for your ability to do that.
Oh man,
it's my hats off to you. It's really hard. I'll have people come to me, Pat, I messed up, blah blah blah, and I'll be like,
you idiot.
Yeah, why? don't be dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I feel like we've given them ample time. Like you just, like I said, you've heard those. I'm just curious what you think each of us are.
What's the timestamp now, Logan?
It's 22. That was 18:10. So they've had like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And let us know if you are familiar with this. I'd love to hear what y'all are.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Now there is, just so we follow protocol, there's one little camp of Enneagram enthusiasts that they are very adamant that you don't ever share your number with anybody.
Oh, really?
Whoops.
Yeah, and we're not of that camp.
I was going to say, yeah.
We're just beginners.
I've already left that camp.
Well, we're going to find out because, the biggest question is where did this come from, and why would it
devil?
Why would it be controversial? You know, and the reason is that there's really kind of sort of ambiguous as to where it did come from.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of debate about it.
I'm going to read 2 kind of I don't know approaches to it. Yeah, because it really became a thing in the U.S. in 1960.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so. There's this guy, his name is Oscar Icazo. He was born in Bolivia, raised there and in Peru, but as a young man moved to Buenos Aires, Argentina to learn from a school of inner work he had encountered. So you're getting the idea that there's a little bit of possible mysticism involved in this. And if you see the Enneagram symbol, it's going to be a circle, there's going to be a triangle, and then there's going to be these 9 star points. So it kind of...
It's a pentagram.
It could be reminiscent of a pentagram, even a Star of David. It looks kind of spooky.
9 in Greek or Latin?
I don't know.
No.
It's thatogram. Maybe it's any.
Could be. It could be. So this is the guy that kind of, fathered the whole movement.
Okay.
So he went to this place called the Arica School. And so it is a vast, interwoven, sometimes complex body of teachings on psychology, cosmology, not cosmetology, cosmology, metaphysics, spirituality, and so forth, combined with various practices to bring about transformations of human consciousness. Okay? So this is kind of, the water that he was swimming in here. Among the highlights for many of the participants was a system of teachings based on the ancient symbol of the Enneagram. The Enneagram symbol has its roots in antiquity and can be traced back at least as far as the works of Pythagoras.
Oh, well, Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, that dastardly guy who made us memorize all those.
That stupid A squared plus B squared.
The Greek number 9 is Ennea.
Well, there you go.
There you go, 9 types.
Pat figured it out.
How about that? Context clues.
The symbol was reintroduced to the modern world by George Gurdjieff.
Yep, Gurdjieff.
Yeah, the founder of a highly influential inner work school. So these are people who are really seriously trying to
fourth way.
Yeah, figure out what it really is. Now, if you go on in this article, it's quite a complete article, but basically they're looking at what they call the essence and the ego.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so, when you're in an unhealthy state, or you're under stress, or you're at your worst, you're going to be following your ego. Mm-hmm. Your ego will be very, very strong. Your essence is who you really are.
Oh.
Because every one of us is good inside.
So is our Enneagram who we really are?
Well, what it is, your ego is who you really are too.
I was going to say, because I'm a jerk either way, apparently.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, your essence is kind of like your, some mystics would even say, your divine.
When you're in nirvana.
Yeah, kind of. Well, it's
good band.
It's the kind that it's the part of you that is connected with the cosmos.
Okay,
shall we say the spirit world,
your soul,
something like that. Yeah, but anyway, this is good you and not so good you.
Okay,
gotcha.
And so when they were in these schools of inner work, there's like, what kind of method or system or practices can we put together that can help us to stay in a balanced state of essence and ego?
Yeah, and this was all the rage.
I say you need them both.
This was all the rage in the first half of the 20th century. This Russian guru, Gurdjieff, he came over, and he's this big philosopher, this mystic, this spiritual teacher, and he quite literally was the foundation for a lot of the Enneagram stuff.
And so, basically, and once again, this is going to be why it's going to sound a little bit controversial. It says, Gurdjieff never taught anything about a system of understanding character related to the Enneagram symbol. He introduced the thing, but never really taught about it a lot. It was this other guy. What was his name?
Claudio Naranjo.
Well, that was
or Oscar Icazo.
Icazo. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was in the 50s.
And it says he began teaching the traditional Enneagram.
Yep.
And it contains components from mystical Judaism, which is a real thing. We could do a whole episode on mystical Judaism.
And everything I looked up, Icazo, is that how you say his name? He's credited as the primary source.
He's the one who really brought it to the U.S. and began, setting up little centers, I guess you would call it. Contains components from mystical Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Taoism, Buddhism, and ancient Greek philosophy, particularly Socrates, Plato, and the Neoplatonists.
Yep. And as in my research, I found out that there's a similar system found in 4th century work from Evagrius Ponticus from Alexandria in Egypt.
Right.
And so it's similar, like it wasn't, personality types and stuff like that, but it was kind of the same similar work as George Gurdjieff. Yeah.
Much more philosophical rather than dealing with the ways to balance your personality.
Right. Well, that's what I think. It's kind of neat thinking about this, because you mentioned like Socrates and them, and it's funny because some of these guys they're like, I feel like the Stoics would be very essence kind of driven, but like saying there's got to be a good balance, because if you're all essence, I think ego gets a bad rap. I mean, ego could lead you to pride, but at the same time, if you're driven by ego.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. But he's using it in a little bit different context because he's not necessarily using the word ego as in you're full of yourself.
Yeah.
It really is acting in a way that makes you the center of the universe.
Gotcha.
Your appetites, your having a bad temper is just wanting to get what you want. That's best for you.
Yeah. He's using it as egotistical.
It is the selfish part of you.
Yeah.
The self-centered part of you, shall we say. Here's a quote from one of his interviews. He says, "We have to distinguish between a man as he is in essence and as he is in ego or personality. In essence, every person is perfect, fearless, and in a loving unity with the entire cosmos. There is no conflict within the person between head, heart, and stomach, or between the person and others. Then something happens. The ego begins to develop. Karma accumulates. There is a transition from objectivity to subjectivity, and man falls from essence into ego personality." Like he dives all the way into that. So you are absolutely correct. A certain amount of ego is necessary, but if one or the other gets out of balance, then
so it's Arminianism and Calvinism.
There you go. There you go.
Just hearing that from that interview, for me, as a Christian standpoint, it sounds like if you're walking in God's will towards your will.
That's exactly right. You might say walking in the spirit or walking in the flesh.
Yeah.
According to the flesh.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing. It's just put in a very mystical way.
Yeah.
And we also know, too, that Greeks were all about philosophy and Gnosticism.
Yeah.
And mysticism.
But also, in its sort of infant stages, it is a lot about how do I fix myself by self-discovery and all that kind of stuff. It says here that he saw the Enneagram as a way of examining specifics about the structure of the human soul, and particularly about the ways in which actual soul qualities of essence become distorted or contracted into states of ego. And so he drew upon a recurrent theme in Western mystical and philosophical tradition, the idea of 9 divine forms. This idea was discussed by Plato as the divine forms or Platonic solids, qualities of existence that are essential, that cannot be broken down into constituent parts. So this is all, a bunch of word salad that needs some dressing on it.
I would call it your thought process before your action.
Well, and again, it is relying on the supposed reality that your essence is perfect, that you have perfection living inside of you.
And we just don't believe that.
You just have to discover it. And your personality, your ego takes over too many times.
Yeah.
See, Logan, you could be perfect.
Yeah.
If I would just put that darn ego aside.
So in its initial phases, he divides these... He has 4 categories of Enneagram.
Okay.
And so
now this is at the beginning.
Yes,
there's only 4. Okay.
No, there's 9, but there's 4 categories of 9.
Gotcha.
So you've got an action Enneagram. Okay. So and this gets pretty involved. So virtues Enneagram: serenity, humility, truthfulness, equanimity, non-attachment, courage, sobriety, innocence, action. So you're one of those 9 on that Enneagram.
Okay.
But then you have the passions Enneagram, which is anger, pride, deceit, envy, avarice, fear, gluttony, lust, sloth.
What if I'm all of those?
It could be any one at any given time, I suppose. Then there is the Enneagram of the holy ideas.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Holy perfection, holy will, holy freedom, holy law, holy hope, holy origin. A lot of holes in this thing. Holy omniscience. Yeah, see, there it is. Holy omniscience. Holy faith, holy wisdom, holy truth, holy love. Okay.
Holy logic.
So you're one of those 9. And then there is the 4th one is the Enneagram of the ego fixations. So this is where you would be at your worst. Okay. So resentment, flattery, vanity, melancholy, stinginess, cowardice, planning, vengeance, indolence. So what the Enneagram that we know as the Enneagram is really kind of all 4 of these categories, sort of meshed together.
Yeah.
But this is really, where it started. Now,
very interesting.
It is. Now it says there's this guy Naranjo, Claudio Naranjo. Okay, he took a course at the Arica School under this other guy.
And now, if you're tracking along with this is the guy from the 1970s,
That's
the
right.
Chilean.
That's right. He eventually developed his own version of the Enneagram system, which he transported to the U.S. in the 1970s. Then came along this guy named Don Richard Riso, who refined it even further. So enter the evangelical church.
Here we go.
Yeah. Now, I want to read this little paragraph right here as it is written, because it's very informative. This will set the stage for kind of what we are, what kind of controversial, edge we have to it.
Gotcha.
Okay, so it says, in recent years, the Enneagram personality typing system, that's what they call it, has increasingly been marketed as a faith-based or spiritual innovation. In the United States, it has become popular with many evangelical Christians, particularly younger ones. This development has been seen as disturbing by some more traditional evangelicals. Oh, yeah. Surprise. Yeah. They worry the core assumptions of the Enneagram are inconsistent with the teachings of the Bible. But younger Christians don't seem overly concerned about the Enneagram's compatibility with traditional spiritual messages. They see the Enneagram as the perfect complement to their Christian worldview, despite its grounding in a wide range of metaphysical belief systems. Their picture of what Christianity represents is broad enough to include a system for psychological and emotional analysis with roots in other spiritual traditions. Somebody named Sarah Jane Case is the prototypical young evangelical Christian Enneagram enthusiast. With an Enneagram-themed Instagram account that has more than 500,000 followers, Case credits her experience with the Enneagram with revitalizing her religious practice. She is now an accredited Enneagram coach who spreads the good word about the system through webinars, in-person workshops, and speaking events.
Wow.
I think that once you find your type, you become really evangelical about it, Case said. And that is true, because I know people who really, really, really know their type.
Absolutely.
In a recent interview published on Medium, you see the transformation that happens inside of you, and you're like, oh, I've never felt more seen. I've never felt so uncomfortably aware of every way I orient in the world and how that impacts other people. And you want everyone to experience that. This paragraph is kind of my experience in rubbing elbows with the Enneagram.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
In some ways, I'm super fascinated about it. I'm not really all that, freaked out about it or tentative about it.
No.
It's like, stuff, that's your thing. That's your thing.
I got friends that are really, really into it.
I look at it this way. And as someone who's had to go through mental health with PTSD and stuff, I look at it this way. If you were answering a questionnaire truthfully, like you go through this and you answer it truthfully, you're going to get truthful answers. And so it's no different than going, hey, I eat bacon, pork chops, and pepperoni on daily, and I have high cholesterol.
Yeah.
It's no different than that to me.
God didn't harden your arteries.
Right.
You hardened your arteries.
Yeah. For me, this does not tell you who you have to be. It's because I had family over at my house today, and when Peter told me we were doing the Enneagram, everyone in my house took the Enneagram test all of a sudden. Yeah. And they were like, well, I used to be this, but now I'm this. And I'm like, no, it's who you are today. Because some people I've talked to have taken the Enneagram 4 years ago and then taken it today, and it's something different.
Well, it's
I have taken it, and it's been the same for the last years.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you get into it, and the enthusiasts will tell you, you don't really know until you really get into it.
That's it. Yeah.
Because, and we'll just discuss this in a little bit, but it's not just your Enneagram number, your Enneagram type.
Yep.
You also have subcategories.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a wing. A wing.
Two wings.
Yeah. Mostly. Yeah. And then you've got arrows. And so you can weave all of these kinds of things together and get an increasingly clearer picture. And really, it isn't just like pigeonholing you or categorizing you.
I was going to say that's part of the reason why I give it some credence, is because when you get your test, it's like you're 66% this, 60% that. Yeah. Like you're not just one, that's it.
No.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit, because we're humans, right? We all have a little degree of everything.
Well, it's interesting, though, too, because, and this is why I'm fascinated by all the different personality tests, because you're going along in life, and you're going through a rough season, man. A couple of weeks of, you just feel like, you ever feel like you just
absolutely, yeah,
just
game over, man.
Can't seem to do the right thing.
Game over.
You're either down in the dumps or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Just unusually angry, sensitive, whatever. And so you think there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
I you know,
I've
I mean,
known that.
legit.
Yeah, I've known that for years.
Exactly. but when you go to something like this, it sort of takes a little bit of the I don't know, the dread out of what you're going through, because you think, oh, well, you know, these are my personality tendencies. This is kind of the way God built me. And so it's normal for me under these circumstances to be reacting in a particular way. That doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's always healthy. But it brings me a little bit of, it's like, oh, I am this way by nature. And so it's not unusual. There's nothing misfiring in my brain that's going to have to cause me to, you know, so in that part of it, I think the Enneagram is just as valuable, if maybe not even a little more valuable in those areas.
Sure.
Like,
Okay.
So I'm kind of naturally sort of bent this way.
Yeah. Well, awareness is a great thing.
Absolutely,
you know,
is.
Like, awareness is a great thing.
In fact, you know, my friends in the recovery programs will tell you that self-examination is the greatest gift you can give to yourself.
Absolutely.
And the person who's never looked inside and been honest, like dead honest, as a person that is really, you know, ill-equipped in so many other areas. Yeah, you can't really interact in a healthy way with other people until you understand what's going on.
I had this conversation in my house today. I said the first person we always lie to is ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. We're really good at it.
I actually think it's a good reason why people need to challenge themselves in some way.
For sure.
Because I feel like when you kind of face a challenge or a hardship or something, you kind of actually get to see a little bit of who you really are.
It strips back the truth.
It does, because when things are good, and I mean, and you know, look, in this day and age, we got it pretty easy. So I mean, you can, whether that be through fitness or whatever, I mean, you can find ways to challenge yourself. And I just think it's good. I think too many people were sedentary.
Well, it's really easy to present the lie that we tell ourselves when we're flying high.
Yeah.
You know, if Peter was like, "Hey, what are we having for dinner?" and him and Miss Karen are like, "Well, we're gonna have to split this can of ravioli or we're gonna starve."
Yeah.
You know, I think Peter will tend to be more honest about who he is. But if Peter had
no, give me the whole can.
if Peter had 16 jets that he was flying on to do speaking engagements all the time, you know, and eating caviar and, you know, champagne the whole nine, you know, I don't think Peter's really going to be too concerned about paying the electric bill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're exactly right. So to kind of get back to the, you know, sort of the point of controversy, on one side, on the positive side, it says the question, is the Enneagram faith-based? Would be difficult to answer if the effort were made to tie it too tightly to any particular religious tradition. It's not a natural outgrowth of the Christian faith, even though it's popular in Christian circles, but it's also not an outgrowth of Judaism, Islam, Sufism, Buddhism, any of those isms.
Yeah.
He says here, part of the brilliance of the Enneagram system is the fact that it can be subtracted from its deeper metaphysical context and still ring true.
Yeah.
You can get all mystic with it if you want to, but you don't have to.
And you said, is it faith-based? I would say it depends on if you faithfully answer.
Well, and, you know, these are not the words of Jesus.
Right.
So, you know.
But we know that truth has power in it. And so if we speak the truth about ourselves to these questions, it's not the gospel, but it will reveal truths that we didn't see in ourselves.
And the statement rings true. All truth is God's truth.
That's right.
Yeah.
And, you know, can we find God's truth in secular spaces?
Absolutely.
Yes. I mean,
Absolutely.
how many
truth is truth.
How many churches do an At the Movies series every summer? Which I absolutely do not like, but that's okay with me. Yeah, it's a me thing.
Peter said we were going to do The Exorcist, and everyone voted him down.
Actually, you could probably find more God's truth in The Exorcist than some of these other weird movies.
Yeah.
So it says, those who use the Enneagram today and swear by its insights include a mixture of the religious and the non-religious, of the spiritually oriented and those with no spiritual beliefs whatsoever. You know, so anyway, that's kind of the pitch for it. Now, I want to go to the other side.
All right.
Do you know about the Gospel Coalition?
No.
Yes, I do.
you know, you're kind of their take on
I've
things.
seen. I had their app there at one time.
I know that
They're very reformed, aren't they?
I take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Oh, this is great people.
Are
at the
they?
Gospel
They're
Coalition.
haters of the Enneagram. Enneagram.
They're haters of anything.
They're not gonna like this. And hey, we need to hear their perspective as well.
That's right.
That's
right.
Piper's been on there a few times.
He's one of the founders.
Yeah.
But Tim Keller was a founder of the Gospel Coalition.
Yep.
J.D. Greer's a part. You know, there's
Joel Osteen.
No.
No.
I was gonna say,
just seeing if you're paying
I was
attention.
gonna say that is one thing I will say about Piper. He would probably stone Joel Osteen to death.
I'm saying, just seeing if you're paying attention.
Yeah. They ain't letting Joyce Meyer in there. It's like, no. But they are. I mean, they are very. They seek after the truth.
I give them credit.
They can do some research.
They are study fiends.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I want you to hear the other side.
All right.
Okay. Before we get to pro Enneagram.
Okay.
You need to hear some of this. Okay. So he says, where did the Enneagram come from? Some proponents of the Enneagram attribute it to Desert Fathers, Kabbalists, Sufi mystics, Pythagoreans, the Chaldeans, or other ancient groups. Claims for ancient origin, however, have never been substantiated.
Right.
Okay, so the earliest mention of the Enneagram is found in the writings of the Russian occultist P.D. Ouspensky, who attributes it to his teacher, the Greek-American occultist Gurdjieff.
So it's cult.
Gurdjieff considered the Enneagram a symbol of the cosmos, but made no connection to personality types.
Right.
And then he calls Oscar Icazo another occultist.
Oh, okay.
He's an occultist. Okay. He's the one who connected it to personality.
Did they tell us how they're an occultist?
Well, he says
the Enneagram.
Icazo claimed to have discovered the personality type meaning of the Enneagram when it was taught to him by the archangel Metatron while he was high on mescaline.
Well, that would
Nice.
that might get you a visit by an angel. That's true. Or yeah.
I tried to substantiate that fact.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you tried mescaline or whatever to
Yes,
see if the
well,
archangel would visit you.
I got a different archangel. His name was Bubba. And, he gave me a good barbecue recipe. No, I didn't have a lot of time to dig into that, and I wasn't going to spend my whole search engine history researching mescaline.
Yes.
That'll ruin your algorithm right there.
Yes. X is all you need.
So I don't know. And then he says, one of his students, Naranjo, another occultist. These are all occultists. Yeah. Was the first to connect the 9 points of the Enneagram to 9 basic personality types. Okay. So, and he also is the one who brought in the ancient sources. Okay. So in the 70s, students of Naranjo spread the Enneagram to various Catholic communities. Now, I do know that this is true. The Catholics were the first ones to kind of get on board with the Enneagram.
Really?
That kind of surprises me.
Surprising.
Especially in the Jesuit community. So,
that
monastic,
makes sense. Yeah.
like that kind of thing.
That makes sense.
Especially in mystical and contemplative circles. Okay, so among the promoters were the former Jesuit Don Riso, the Franciscan friar Richard Rohr. Now, that's a name you're going to hear a lot
Richard
about.
Rohr.
Yeah.
It's a big name.
Richard Rohr is a big deal in what we would probably call progressive Christianity.
Right.
Yeah.
Written some really good books. He actually wrote a recovery book called Breathing Underwater, which is a phenomenal book.
Yeah.
He's also written some other stuff that
Breathing underwater is what a lot of these legalistic people need to try.
Oh yeah, it's a great book, honestly. But he is very progressive. And then late Benedictine nun Suzanne Zerker. Okay, so 1997 was when Riso co-founded the Enneagram Institute that brought the Enneagram to a broader audience.
Okay.
Now the guru of the Enneagram right now today is an Episcopal priest named Ian Morgan Cron, Chrohn. And honestly, this guy, I've heard tons of interviews with him. He does some incredible work. He wrote an iconic book some years ago called The Road Back to You. And
Sounds familiar.
That does sound familiar.
The enthusiasts will say this is the book that you need to read in order before you take your first real test. Now, Ian Morgan Cron has a website, and you can take an assessment right on his website, and it will cost you $129.
Oh, wow. That's
so
really, I don't know about that.
He thinks a lot of his assessment as opposed to your garden variety assessments.
I've seen this book.
Oh, he's got a podcast.
Oh, yeah. His
Road Back to
podcast
You.
It's one of the top podcasts.
Yeah, looking at life through the lens of the Enneagram.
Yep. He is
I
all
don't
about it.
I don't think I've read it, but I've seen it.
He knows everything, and he's a Christian. So there you go. So anyway, why are some evangelicals enthusiastic about the Enneagram? He says it's hard to say why it's become a hot fad, but a need for a simple classification tool that's not horoscopes.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't have to say in my closet I'm a Libra.
Yeah.
I can now say in public I'm a 9.
I'm a
Yeah.
9.
But
I'm a
you-
10.
But you know, though,
Yeah.
I think that is something that human beings have always sought after.
Oh, completely.
You know, whether it's the
Yeah.
Zodiac, whether it's the Chinese Zodiac,
Yeah.
whether it's Enneagrams, because we want to know more about ourselves.
How do I make sense of myself?
Right.
Yeah.
We
That's
want to
exactly right.
understand.
Now,
Yeah.
here's another fascinating reason, a need for a Myers-Briggs replacement. Now, many of you taken Myers-Briggs. Well, apparently over the last 10 years or so, Myers-Briggs has really taken a nosedive. It's really, it's, in fact, one critic, scientist, psychological person, he says, Myers-Briggs has about as much insight and validity as a BuzzFeed quiz.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just a little bit of that. Okay, so why are some evangelicals opposed to it? They likely have first seen books on the Enneagram in the New Age section of the bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're mostly in the self-help psychology section.
Yeah.
The symbol is also reminiscent of the pentagram,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is associated with all
I
kinds of
think
wild stuff.
the same question is why are evangelicals so opposed to fun?
So it's just the optics, really.
It is, for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah. That caused the initial scare.
Yeah.
Because we need to do an episode on the satanic panic.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this though. Since the Enneagram came out to today, everyone's got a lot laxed on it since then.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah, most of, honestly, you're going to still find a lot of resistance.
a lot of pushback.
in
Yeah.
the more conservative, traditional Christian communities.
But nowhere near what it used to be.
No, it was evil.
Yeah.
Absolutely evil.
Yeah.
So here's how he finishes this up, and this is where it gets good. It's like, okay, Joe, tell me how you really feel. It says, should Christians be using the Enneagram? He says, while the Enneagram itself is not ancient, typological personality classifications have been around since the era when Nehemiah was rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem. Which I had to do a little research on that too. I was like, Nehemiah, really? During that period, Greek physician Hippocrates was advancing his proto-psychological theory about the 4 temperaments. The father of medicine identified 4 fundamental personality types: sanguine, choleric, melancholic, and phlegmatic. Now, I've
Bless
heard
you.
these before. This was around in the 70s and 80s when I
Okay.
was in church world. We
Yeah.
had these 4, and we had teaching on this stuff and everything. You know where what he bases these on?
What?
Bodily fluids.
Oh, gosh.
Nice. There's not a whole lot of those.
So spit.
Blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile.
Black
Oh
bile.
man, I gotta choose blood. That's what I want to be.
What is black
I
bile?
have no idea.
Dead.
I didn't want to ruin my algorithm again after I did it with the
Yeah.
next color.
Don't worry,
That's-
I will ruin mine.
I got to know what black
Yeah,
bile
I do
is.
too.
That sounds like you got something bad going on there.
But see, here's the deal. It says, while doctors no longer attribute our temperament to our bodily fluids, thank the Lord for that.
Yeah.
The idea that our personalities can be matched to basic categories has lived on. This is where I got it. In the late 60s, Tim LaHaye, the guy who wrote all the Left Behind stuff, sold 1 million copies of a book that claims our temperaments were still best classified as sanguine, choleric, melancholic, and phlegmatic. And so he just says this is a variation of the same kind of
Gotcha.
classification.
This is interesting. This says black bile is a term used by ancient Greek and medieval medicine to describe a hypothetical fluid believed to be responsible for melancholia, a mood disorder characterized by depression, sadness, and
I
permissive.
have heard about that.
It has been founded by Hippocrates
Yes.
from 460 to 370
So
BC.
yellow bile and black bile are imaginary
I was
bodily
going to say,
fluids.
so they're not real.
They're
And,
not.
it is believed to come from the spleen.
Wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
Thank you for explaining.
2 for 2.
Yes. Okay, so he says, still, it raises the question of whether we should be concerned because of the Enneagram's occultist origins. Now, he's making an assumption there.
Yeah. I was going to say, I still ain't necessarily heard of anything that would make me think they're occultists.
It says we definitely should be concerned when the Enneagram is being used, as many Catholics have. They don't like Catholics.
Yeah.
As a form of Gnostic-based numerology. We shouldn't be seeking divination. That's a biblical word. That's an abomination. Divination is an abomination. From a tool that was developed by somebody who claims it was handed to him in a vision from what sounds suspiciously like a demon.
Yes.
Yeah. When the Enneagram is used simply as a diagnostic tool for personality classification, the question becomes a little less clear. Despite its origin story, there may be enough of the Enneagram that remains useful or at least not harmful. So he leaves it up to the conscience of the individual Christian. However, here's his final statement. We should be proceeding with caution and treat the issue like Paul treated meat sacrificed to idols in Romans 14. If using the Enneagram causes our weaker brothers to stumble, if they begin to think New Age-oriented tools of self-discovery are also legitimate, we should be willing to abandon the Enneagram altogether. If the Enneagram, this is, Kevin DeYoung is saying this, and Kevin DeYoung is like dyed in the wool, straight up reformed, If the Enneagram were another version of what color is your parachute or strengths finder, that would be fine, Kevin DeYoung says. But it has been, from its inception, whenever that was, infused with spiritual significance. Therein lies the danger.
Yeah.
Evangelicals concerned about the Enneagram should probably worry less, since it's likely a mostly harmless fad that will fade away in a few years. And evangelicals enthralled with the Enneagram should probably wonder why they spent so much energy on a tool that has about as much scientific validity as the four humors theory of Hippocrates and Tim LaHaye.
I would say that if we're gonna equate it,
they don't like Tim LaHaye.
I get that. Yeah, you're picking up on that.
If we're gonna equate it to Paul's view of the meat, I would say as Christian teachers and leaders, we should teach what Paul also said about the meat, that the idol in itself is nothing. And if we teach that, all of a sudden the meat just becomes a meal. And then we actually guard our hearts.
Well, obviously his point about not causing someone to stumble if it's confusing to them or if they're not mature enough to handle it. I get that part of it.
Yeah.
But you can apply that to just about anything,
Thank you.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be an Enneagram.
It takes it passes the buck. We don't have to teach or explain. All we have to do is just make sure what we do looks good.
Well, and honestly, there is let's just say there's a lot of godly truth that we hold on to today that it wasn't necessarily extracted from. I mean, the Word of God comes from God, right? Mm-hmm. But it is also mirrored in secular society of the time when it was written.
Absolutely.
And so it's not foreign to some, strains of Greek philosophy or, Roman thought and things that. So just because it is somehow, now, there are, in fact, I need to find this other one. No, this is legit. I found this little tiny article. Yeah, it's by Peace Family Counseling. Christianity and the Enneagram, the Enneagram's history. Okay, so this I think makes a really good point. It says that history has a lot of murkiness, but there's a reason for this. For much of history, people learn through oral traditions, and it was true for the Enneagram.
Yeah.
Okay, so he says when people consider the origins, they think of Ikazo and Naranjo. However, the teachings of Enneagram topics are not exactly like our modern teachings. The Enneagram teachings date to an ancient Babylon in 550 BC. Through history, Enneagram passed down predominantly through oral tradition. Therefore, there's not many writings of it. And Father Richard Rohr, one of the leaders, said when he learned about it, he had to keep it a secret because he didn't want to get out that he was messing around with this stuff. Anyway, it talks about, it says how it may be more Christian than previously thought. There are writings from the early Christian church Fathers like Evagrius of Pontus seem to refer to the Enneagram or an Enneagram type of understanding. There seem to be some Jewish oral traditions on the Enneagram. The medieval churches utilized the Enneagram even around the time of Jesus. So it goes on like that. But then goes to Acts 17. It says, Acts 17:16 is one of my favorite stories of Paul. He was on a missionary journey. He was waiting for a few days in Athens. You'll be familiar with this. He went down to the town square, and he was invited to share at the Areopagus by Epicurean and Stoic philosophers. In his sermon to them, he quotes some of their poets and references one of their altars, and says that they both point to Jesus. Paul does not view the Areopagus, the altars, or the pagan poetry as threats to his belief or to Christ, but actually shows how God and truth can be shown even in these places.
Gotcha.
Paul showed what I think we Christians need to know, that the sacred can be found in the secular.
Thank you.
This is true in our world around us, and specifically with the Enneagram. While the Enneagram may have some Jewish and even Christian origins, it also may not.
Yeah.
Even if it does not, it can still be used for good and even to push us closer to Christ. It's not, if it's not actively against Christianity, it may be an opportunity for growth.
Who wrote that article?
This is, I don't know the author's name, but it's a counseling.
What organization?
Peace Family Counseling. The guy's name is Darren Hayes.
Check it out.
And it was written a year and a half ago.
Yep.
So those are all the viewpoints, I think, that are pretty relevant to what we're talking about here.
And I would say they're all valid in their own isolation.
I think you should be cautious with everything.
Yeah.
You know, you should even be cautious when you read your Bible.
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Because what we read in English isn't, as we've discovered, and the 97 weeks we did on Revelation.
Well,
you know,
you and I have talked before too. Is any fool with the Greek lexicon can be dangerous.
Oh man, you really can.
We have to know the context.
Yeah. I don't know everything about Greek and Hebrew, but I have found people who do.
Yeah.
And I trust them impeccably. So we're going to use the last segment to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
So Logan, you took an assessment this afternoon sometime, right?
Yeah.
And
it was your first one, correct?
No, I had gone back and looked, and because it was funny. I took one. It was
actually some friends that are like enthusiasts.
Deeply, and I looked. It was 2 years ago when I took the first one.
Okay.
And this was actually the third one, because I took two, and the first one.
Well, my first question is, has it changed any?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say. The first time I took it, I was one type, and the next time, and then today I was the same.
Okay.
So I have stayed the same over a 2 year span.
Narrowed down, locked in.
Now let me ask you this: has anything in your life changed around the same time that changed?
Yeah. I mean, you know, we've honestly actually had more chaos financially with the farm and things like that than then.
Okay.
So it's funny. I was in that. I don't know. It's funny to the type that I was when things were actually going pretty well. Seems like I would almost say a more aggressive type than it is now.
So through struggle, you become more humble, would you say?
I don't know. Maybe.
Or just changed.
You just changed. I mean, and I think when I looked back at the previous one, I was very close between what I am now. So it was like, it wasn't a big change.
And also,
gotcha.
you know,
Gotcha.
you do these assessments by, you know, answering these questions, a lot of questions, and they give you a spectrum, you know.
Yeah.
They generally give you at least 5 boxes you can check.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really hard, you know. You go
Yes.
like, no, I think I'm a 3 on that, but I could be a 2.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
the, you know.
Yeah.
Then others, it's like, do I go all the way to 5? Do I really want to admit that about myself?
Yes.
You know? So that can, you know, once again, you know, being more, it's like, when I'll tell you my little journey in a second, but I made up my mind. I'm just answering it. I'm not even going to think about it.
That's
That
how
was
I
me.
did today.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm just going to be brutally honest and just answer this as straightforward
Yes,
as I can.
I care about what people think of me.
Yes. And then it was like, are you caring? And I'm like, no.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And I will say though, a lot of these Enneagrams, there's overlap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, yes, for are you caring could be, that means yes would tick type 1, 5, 10, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. But they do carefully word these questions.
They do.
And usually there might be a question that says, "Are you a caring? Do you consider yourself a caring person?"
And they'll reword it later.
But then they'll go, "Are you a natural caregiver?"
Yes.
There's a big difference between
There-
those two
Yep.
things.
Yes.
Yep.
And if you're honest with yourself, you might consider yourself a caring person, but you may not be.
A natural
caregiver.
I mean,
You might have to be a caregiver.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we're out in the woods and you get bit by a snake, I'm going to care for you.
That's not
Yes.
going to happen. Snakes don't bite me out of respect.
See, there you go. There you go. I got a good joke about that. But
Well, I tell you what's funny as we're going to reveal our stuff. I hope you've commented and let
Yeah.
us know what you think we
'Cause
are.
We've given you, what, about an hour?
Oh, yeah, they've had plenty of
easily.
time.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I wonder if people would think that Peter and I are the same.
Right?
That would be very interesting. wouldn't it?
When Peter first said we were doing this, I said, no matter what, since Peter's a pastor, he's got to be the peacekeeper, right? He's got to be a type 9 peacekeeper. Just has to be. Or he can't be a pastor, correct?
Yeah.
I was wrong.
We'll discover. Okay, so so you took the tests, the assessment. What are you?
I'm a type 4.
You are an Enneagram 4.
I am a
Isn't that-
romantic individualist.
Okay.
Yeah.
My
So,
wife,
Marcy
she
is still
tripped
laughing.
out at the romantic part, but it shocked me reading it. I'm a 4 wing 3.
But see, here's wing 3. We're going to get into the wings here in just a
Yeah.
second. But that's interesting though, because there are sort of these hidden sort of personality traits that we don't really notice unless we kind of look back. It's interesting. Okay, so the events surrounding your wedding.
Yeah.
Okay, were you invested in that?
No.
Yeah. But what about the honeymoon?
I loved the.
Where'd you go?
We went to New York City.
See, that's romantic.
Yeah.
That's a part that you cared about.
Yeah.
That
I didn't want to. I was like, we go to the beach. It's like, we're
Yeah.
going to go somewhere we've never been.
didn't go on a cruise.
No.
See, and not many people choose to go to New York for their honeymoon.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
always
and-
Mexico or something like that.
I'll tell you something I did 2 days ago.
What'd you do?
Actually, it was Monday. Yeah, Monday. The kids, I was like, we're going to have fun. Marcy was at work. No, Marcy was at work. And so I took the kids. They love Bass Pro. And man, we left. Hey, I'm kind of tooting my own horn right now.
See,
Do
there
it,
you go.
toot, man.
We left Bass Pro, and my wife works downtown at a hospital, and we went and got her. I went and got her some flowers,
See,
and then I
So
went
sweet.
and surprised her with flowers.
yeah.
So, but
Maybe
and
you are
and
romantic.
2 years ago, I was a type 8.
Wow.
I was a challenger, but it was like
Confrontational.
it was because I told them I had to look up the results because I was like, I don't even remember what it was. But it was really closely followed by a type 4.
Yeah. But here's the interesting thing. Okay, so I'm gonna reveal mine.
Well, and that's why I wore.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things that tripped me out reading about a type 4 was it said they're fashionistas, and it said that a lot of times because
Spell it.
type 4s are very fashionista. I could spell that one.
Spell it.
FASHIONISTAS. Fashionistas.
There you
Good
go.
job.
But they want to be different. They want to express their individuality. And so it's one of the ways to do is through their style. And I was like, man, I told Marcy, I was like, I wear all the freaking retro rifle shirts all the time.
You
so
showed
I
up
had
at
to
the
put it on.
Christmas
But
thing.
also-
I was like John Wick, man.
But another shade of that though also is they're image conscious.
Yes.
And so not just want to kind of project your style, but also be dressed appropriately for the type of setting that you're in.
Yes.
That's why
I don't go to
y'all
work
always
and
look
I
better
don't
than me.
work on the farm in a suit.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't wear loud colors or anything
No.
like that.
Yeah.
T-shirt,
Yeah,
and blue jeans
but
typically.
some of your T-shirts have very, expressive things to say.
Oh
on
yeah,
them.
most of them.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes so much
Um,
sense why y'all two are always dressed better than me.
Well,
Peter had the purple coat.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't dress flashy at all. I try to, honestly, I started this several years ago. I wanted to make the people that were interested in coming to our church who were new, I wanted them. I didn't want them to feel like they had to
Be
wear
dressed
a suit
up.
and tie.
Yeah.
And so I started trying to dress tastefully, wearing a jacket every now and then, going without a jacket every now and then.
Yeah.
And just kind of projecting a particular image of invitation.
So you've been betraying your type.
Well, no, image conscious. That
means, there you go. That's true. Yeah.
Nice. Well played.
I want to.
So what are you?
I also am a 4.
Look at that.
I'm a 4. Yeah, I'm a 4 wing 3. Just we're like twins.
We are.
Yeah.
That's why we sit on the same side.
But
like
it's
I'm on
so
this side.
interesting. That's right. Yes.
On the right hand side.
On the right, on the correct side.
Yeah, Pat's on the left.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Sheep, goat.
Yes.
No.
But it's very. It's not a goat. That's my dad. It can be the same number, but express it in different ways.
Yeah.
That's right.
But let me read just a few things. This is a pretty detailed thing. I'm not going to read it all, but I want to read a few things. It says, individualist, sensitive, introspective, expressive, dramatic, self-absorbed. Yeah. Temperamental, for sure. So 4s are self-aware, sensitive, and reserved. Most of the time, introverted.
Yeah.
Emotionally honest, creative, and personal, but can also be moody and self-conscious. Withholding themselves from others due to feeling vulnerable and defective, they can also feel disdainful and exempt from ordinary ways of living. They have problems with melancholy, self-indulgence, and self-pity. At their best, inspired and highly creative, they are able to renew themselves, reinvent themselves, and transform their experiences. The interesting thing is the basic fear of a 4 is insignificant. That nobody thinks I'm important.
Yeah. Peter, I think you're important.
Thank you.
Logan,
you
you're getting there.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Maybe one day.
Basic desires to find themselves, be authentic.
Are you self-deprecating?
All the time.
That's how I am, man. I'm like, I tell my wife, I'm my own worst critic. Even when if I achieve something that I've wanted to achieve, once I get that, all it does is push the goalpost further.
Yeah.
Have you ever suffered from imposter syndrome?
Yes, all the time.
Imposter syndrome is the dread feeling when you wake up in the morning that is this the day when they find out that I am totally unqualified for this job?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Basic desire is to find themselves and their significance to create an identity that you can be authentic with and comfortable with.
Yeah.
Then it starts to get into Enneagram 4 with a 3 wing.
What is your wing, Peter?
3. We're both 3s.
You're both aristocrats.
Yeah.
We are. I said I'm going to get a monocle.
Yeah, I'm getting them both top hats.
Yeah, but 4s want to express themselves and their individuality, to create and surround themselves with beauty, to maintain certain moods and feelings, to withdraw or protect their self-image, take care of emotional needs before attending to anything else. They attract a rescuer.
Nice. Nice.
Yes.
So what are some celebrity type 4s?
Bob Dylan.
Oh, good company.
Paul Simon.
Okay.
Leonard Cohen.
Okay.
Cher. Stevie Nicks.
Okay.
Alanis Morissette.
Good call.
Amy Winehouse.
I don't know if that's good company. That
was a good call.
Yeah, she should have gone to rehab.
No.
Kat Von D.
Okay, Kat's pretty cool.
She's a Christian now.
She is. She's pretty cool.
Sure is. Stevie Nicks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Anybody else?
Nick Cage. I see Nick Cage
Hank
on there.
Williams, man.
Johnny Depp.
There you go.
Yeah. Johnny Depp was the one I was reading about
Johnny
on there.
Depp. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And it was kind of cool because it said when he was coming up, Brad Pitt was like the thing.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp is not that like dashingly handsome like Brad Pitt. So it said he just leaned into his quirkiness and kind of used that. Joaquin Phoenix was another one. It said like was a type 4, and
I'm just saying Johnny Depp and Edward Scissorhands. Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that stood out to me, because I can tell you this is one of my frustrations. And it said type 4s are really, really big on authenticity.
For sure.
And that's one of my gripes forever. I just want people to genuinely be who they are.
Yeah, I agree.
And like I've always been that way. I'm like, man, even I say things I shouldn't say.
So is that why you like me?
That's why I like you, Pat.
Okay.
Yeah, you're legit. I mean, if people pass the sniff test with me, they got to be what I consider very authentic.
I wear deodorant.
So to get this up here.
And you're gonna get to hear Pat's a peacemaker.
Yeah,
I don't think mine would be a surprise to anybody.
It was funny, mine, because the test I took gave percentages of each, and the Challenger, what I said I was 2 years ago, that was still a really high percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Peacemaker was almost non-existent on the percentage.
Yeah.
Like it was literally like a 30%.
Well, and once again, these types are not what you're good at or what you are interested in.
It's tendencies.
Well, it really is what you center your identity in, and your self-worth in.
Yep.
You know, so you might be a peacemaker.
Yeah, when the time calls for it.
I mean, you have to be a peacemaker with your kids, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't derive your greatest value as a person from being, you're not compelled to go around the world making peace with everybody.
And it's funny that this is a joke, but my wife is a peacemaker. She's a type 9. And it's very much who she is. My wife despises conflict on any level whatsoever.
Because she's sweet.
Same as I was gonna say, my wife, I told y'all before, like I made Marcy take the test while we were sitting here chatting, and she texted me what she was, and I was like totally not surprised. And one of her main things was a peacemaker.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, yep.
So type 4s, at their best, profoundly creative, expressing the personal and the universal, possibly in a work of art. They make good public speakers, so on and so forth. True to self, emotionally honest, all these kinds of things.
And I would say both of y'all are good public speakers too.
Well,
I appreciate it. I don't know. I self-deprecate myself all the time.
Well, I mean, honestly though, as we're going through this, though, I would say it accurately describes both of you.
That's like you're both very self-centered.
Self-centered, yes. Yeah.
No, that's your self-deprecation talking.
But I'm a part of a couple of different, like Facebook pastor groups and things like this. I don't really chime in a whole lot, but they were having a discussion the other day. It's like, do you listen to or watch your sermons a few days after you preach them?
Yeah.
To critique yourself and everything. It's like, I watch them hours after I preach them. I can't, I got to sit down there and go, oh man.
I go home and judge the live stream.
Oh,
I do. As soon as we go home,
I
go back
too,
and listen to the music, and I'm like, I missed that note.
But I pick apart every single detail and I go, oh, that transition didn't work. And why did I go down that rabbit trail? Or I'm just mumbling, stumbling, bumbling, it's like I just go through it. Hardly ever saying, wow, you nailed it, dude. I just want to make it better.
I can't do it.
Well,
I hate it.
But I guess this is outside looking in from though, because like when you're getting into it and you're like spitting fire from the pulpit, I'm like, oh, knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
But it's the same way on the podcast. I go back and watch it, and when you're just like, bam, 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 or even on your other one, loaded, living fully loaded, or talk dirt to me, it's bam, bam, bam. I'm like, he nailed.
Yes, those guys.
Like he's a professional.
No, I see, and I very rarely can go back and listen, because when I listen, I'm like, sound like an idiot. I hate it.
I don't want to, but I don't want somebody else to say how bad it was before I do. I need the first shot at it.
I just assume everything I say is bad, so I just already got that.
I understand that I have developed some skills along the way, and I'm happy about that. But I it's just that compelling thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so if a 4 is unhealthy, it says, when dreams fail, they become self-inhibiting and angry at themselves, depressed, alienated from self and others, emotionally paralyzed.
Logan.
Self-contempt, morbid thoughts, everything is a negative,
Debbie
so on
Downer.
and so forth.
Yeah.
And can, at the lowest level, correspond to the avoidant, depressive, or narcissistic personality disorders. So,
oh wow,
we got to watch ourselves. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I wanted to talk about this wing thing just a little bit, because you can actually take a wing test as a part of your Enneagram profile, which I did, and
we're even the same. We're just birds of a feather.
Yeah.
That's it.
And this is a natural, it's sort of a companion personality type. So I'm a 4 apparently.
Yeah.
3s are very action oriented, very outward.
Mm-hmm. They're cheaper.
Typically a 4 will be either a 3-wing or a 5-wing. 5-wing can be even more withdrawn and even more melancholy. But Fortunately, God gifted me with a 3-wing because, and they say actually that's a really good combination because it takes that inner creativity and that work that you do alone, and it brings it out to the world.
Yeah.
It sees the value in it and wants to bring it to the world.
Right.
So the aristocrat, it says you blend the introspective creativity of the individualist with the ambition and adaptability of the achiever. This propels you toward authentic self-expression and recognition.
Are these printed out from your test?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Distinctive characteristics: expressive and charismatic, creative with a drive for recognition.
You are charismatic.
A little bit too much of a drive to be noticed, I think sometimes.
Same,
Emotionally
same.
intense but adaptable.
But you know what's kind of tickles me on that?
What's that?
Basically 4, and we were talking about this, and really all 3 of us fall into this category. We actually enjoy being alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was telling them to a fault a lot of times with me, like on the farm, I like being by myself.
Yeah.
And even at times when I actually need help, I'm like, I just like being alone.
And I'll tell you, it's my pride. My pride will be like, I don't need anybody. I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Is
you
that-
come at it from a different angle.
Yeah. They'll suck at it.
Yeah,
if
he's
they
like,
come
I
and
just
help
hate
me.
everyone.
Yeah,
And I-
it's like, they're not going to do it as good as me.
Yes.
That's true. That's true.
But it's funny because a 4-wing 3 to me, I told them I feel like I am an extroverted introvert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's basically what a 4-wing 3 is.
I see that with both of you, though, actually.
Well, and the
Yeah.
interesting thing though is, people say, how can you be introverted and want to be up on stage all the time? You know, it's like, well, I learned this at a very early age. I have the problem with the crowd. You know, like I would much rather watch a concert from backstage.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I would rather be on the stage because, ironically enough, even though everybody's looking at you, and that can be a source of, anxiety for a lot of people, I feel like I've got this little insulation.
Yeah.
Like the people are out there and I'm here.
It is true.
And I can, and so there, I have to say, there's a lot of truth to
Well,
this.
see,
is.
over the years, I've got to know you. And so, like, when we drove down to Dixon for the conference, like, the way down there, Peter was talkative. He was doing his thing. He got there. Peter was talking. But I know Peter's social battery. It runs out real easy. So on the way back, we maybe said 5 words to
did
each
not
other.
talk at all.
We maybe said 5 words to each other. We just listened to music the whole way back.
My battery was
Yeah.
out.
And we were completely cool with that.
Yeah.
And then it goes on to some other details and things like that. It talks about how 4-wing 3s navigate relationships, their approach to.
We are the most romantic.
Yeah, well,
Miss Karen said, yeah.
when we're at our best. So let's put it that
My wife's like, gosh, he's always at his worst.
way. Yeah, exactly. When is he ever going to be the best?
Yes.
Okay, so now it's time to reveal Pat's. Pat, what is your Enneagram type?
Mine said I'm a jerk.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
No.
I'm a type 8.
8. 8 is a challenger. The powerful dominating type, self-confident, decisive, willful, and confrontational. Those are not bad words.
Yeah.
Because if you have an obstacle, and as a 4, I just would rather not deal with it. I just call Pat.
Yeah.
And
I
I
got
said,
you.
Pat,
I got you.
I need a team, and we need to go replace all these wires, and we need to fix this thing.
I don't need a team. I can do it by myself.
Pat says, what's the problem? We can handle it.
Yep.
Somebody can handle it.
I don't play chess. I play checkers.
Yeah.
If someone comes along, I jump them.
So here's and type 8s are there are a lot of CEOs that aren't type 8s, and
Well, that ain't me.
people. Yeah. It says 8s are self-confident, strong, and assertive, protective, resourceful, straight-talking, and decisive, but can also be egocentric and domineering.
Truth.
8s feel they must control their environment, especially people, sometimes becoming confrontational and intimidating.
Truth.
They sometimes have problems with their tempers and allowing themselves to be vulnerable. At their best, self-mastering, they use their strength to improve others' lives, becoming heroic, magnanimous, and inspiring.
That's me.
There you go. Basic fear.
We need the glowing light over there.
Exactly. Basic fear of being harmed or controlled by others.
It's true.
Basic desire to protect themselves, to be in control of their own life and destiny.
True.
Do you know your wing?
Wing 7.
Okay.
The Maverick.
Wing 7 is the Maverick.
You know, and actually, there's a lot of parallels to type 4 to me, though, on that. on the desires for the individual
coming
stuff.
from a different angle.
Yep.
He's doing it out of a desire to self-protect, to control, to fix. We're like self-protection, like insulation,
Yes.
It's just the methodology is a little bit different.
And I enjoy being with people. I really do.
What does it say Wing 9's called? Man, I wish I was called the Bear.
The Bear.
I don't know. The Maverick's pretty legit, though.
Yeah, Maverick.
Yeah, but Tom Cruise is like 5'6".
No.
That's true.
You're not talking Tom Cruise. You're talking James Garner.
Okay.
He's the true Maverick.
Yeah.
Or Mel Gibson.
Yeah. Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's some famous 9-wing 7s, or 8-wing 7s, I mean. Fidel Castro, how about that?
There you go, Pat.
I need Cuba.
Franklin D. Roosevelt, Martin Luther King Jr., Lyndon Johnson, Saddam Hussein. You got all the dictators.
So I need to run for president.
Yes,
What y'all
you
telling
do.
me?
John McCain, Donald Trump, Pablo Picasso, Ernest Hemingway. Let's see, James Brown. I feel good. Yeah. Aretha Franklin, Keith Richards. How about that?
Oh, I will live forever.
Yes.
Yeah, Jack Black.
Oh, okay.
Courtney Love, Chrissy Hine,
Courtney Love.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
John Wayne,
Okay.
Frank Sinatra, Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall, Betty Davis, Mae West, Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Good ones.
The
Paul Newman,
James
smarter than a
Bond.
shore.
Paul Newman, Clint Eastwood, Tommy Lee Jones, Jack Nicholson, Susan Sarandon, Russell Crowe, Sean Penn, Harvey Keitel, Matt Damon, Alec Baldwin, Roseanne Barr, Barbara Walters,
Here you go. Here's the best one.
Rosie O'Donnell,
Oh God! Yeah,
Oh, man.
Phil McGraw, and Tony Soprano.
Phil McGraw. That's Dr. Phil, right?
Yeah.
Yes. We all got our Amy Winehouses in the bunch there.
Mine's got to be
That's
Rosie though. I'll take Amy Winehouse.
I
over
would
Rosie
take
O'Donnell.
Amy over Rosie. Very true.
Oh.
8s are the true rugged individualists of the Enneagram. More than any other type, they stand alone. They want to be independent and resist being indebted to anyone. They refuse to give in to social convention. They can defy fear, shame, and concern about the consequences of their actions. They don't let the opinions of others sway them.
True.
Although to some extent 8s fear physical harm, far more important is their fear of being disempowered or controlled in some way.
That's right.
They can
Especially
absorb
manipulation.
they are often extremely industrious, but at the price of losing emotional contact with many of the people in their lives. Those close to them may become increasingly dissatisfied with this state of affairs, which confounds 8s. I don't understand what my family's complaining about. I bust my hump to provide for them. Why are they disappointed with me?
Yep.
They sometimes build up their egos to protect themselves. They avoid sensitivity or vulnerability. But when they are emotionally healthy, they have a resourceful can-do attitude as well as a steady inner drive. They take the initiative, make things happen with a great passion for life. They are honorable, authoritative, natural leaders who have solid commanding presence. They have lots of common sense. They're willing to take the heat, knowing that any decision cannot please everyone.
The common sense went out the window for me.
They look after the interests of the people in their charge without playing favorites and use their talents and fortitude to construct a better world for everyone in their lives. That's what it says.
All right.
There you go. I was wondering if it had any more information about an 8-wing 7, but I don't see that it does.
I can get you some real quick.
Oh God! Now it's gonna say I'm even a bigger jerk.
All right. Info on an 8-wing 7. The Maverick is one of the most high-octane, take-no-prisoners types in the Enneagram.
Woo!
It's basically Type 8's raw force plus Type 7's restless energy. Well, Pat drinks 18 energy drinks a day, so he's got that part down, which creates someone who's bold, fast-moving, and unstoppable when locked on a goal. As a result... An 8-wing 7 pushes harder than almost any other type. They don't just defend their turf like a pure 8, they charge into new ones. Their strengths, relentless drive, charisma and presence.
I'm charismatic.
It says they add charm and humor to their raw intensity. Risk takers, natural leaders, and action-oriented. The challenges is their impulse control. The 7-wing can push them into fast decisions without full consideration.
True.
Impatience. They want results now and can bulldoze slower people. conflict. They don't shy from it and may escalate unnecessarily.
True.
Overextension. They take on huge projects because they think they can handle it all and usually can until they burn out.
True.
So it says famous 8W7s. Yeah, you read them.
Yeah.
Ideal environment, high autonomy, clear goals, and a challenge worth fighting for.
Likes to be in charge.
Yep.
I like it. Basic fear is to lose control of their life. Basic desire is to be powerful and in control of their life.
Yeah, I don't care about controlling other people. I just want to control myself, and I don't want anyone else to.
And everything around you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. No, so yeah, it's very interesting. This site will tell you how to email an Enneagram 8W7.
Oh wow, how's it do it?
It says only follow up on emails when strictly necessary. Remember to be kind and warm so they feel comfortable to open up to you.
Man, I will say that group message people out there.
Yeah.
Don't communicate with me unless you need me, or it better make me laugh. Other than that, I don't want to hear about. Hey, what are you thinking right now? That I really don't want to be in this text thread. That's what I'm thinking.
Here's a side by side of the core traits between an 8W7 and a 4W3.
Nice.
So
I like that.
The core drive between the maverick and the aristocrat. So the maverick, power, control, action.
I feel like this is Maverick and Iceman right now.
It sounds like it. The aristocrat is identity, authenticity, and achievement.
Mm-hmm.
The energy style of the maverick is explosive, external, and forceful, whereas the aristocrat is intense, internal, and expressive.
That's true.
Decision style, the maverick, fast, decisive, sometimes impulsive, and the aristocrat is calculated and emotionally invested. Focus on the maverick, winning battles and seizing territory.
True.
Aristocrat, creating something unique and admired. And the fear of the maverick is being controlled, weak, or insignificant. And the aristocrat is being insignificant or inauthentic.
So none of us want to be insignificant.
That's right.
That's right.
We want to be important.
That's right.
Approach to success. The maverick says take it by force, and
Yes.
the aristocrat says build it beautifully and make it admired. So we seek admiration.
Yeah, exactly.
The strength showdown, it says 8W7 strength, sheer dominance, can kick down doors others can't.
True.
4W3 says can make those doors worth walking through by turning work into art, brand, or a legacy.
I'll bring you a curtain after I kick your door in.
It says the weakness showdown, 8W7 may bulldoze without depth or refinement, whereas 4W3 may get stuck in self-doubt or perfection before launching.
Yeah, we just kill our own projects.
Well,
We do.
That's true. But I have put myself in many holes I have to apologize for. I have done that.
Here's you a cool finish. An 8W7, this is how they work together. It says an 8W7 provides speed and force, and a 4W3 provides vision and style. Together, you get something big, fast, and unique.
I love that.
So Pat's the black shirt, and we bring the color.
Yeah.
There you go. See?
Yeah, it's neat. I think it's neat.
So
This is why I play guitar.
anyway, so now you know what we are, and now we have the license to act in certain ways to you, and you have
That's
to
right.
be okay with them.
Yeah, I'll just, when I get mad or something happens, I'll be like, well, sorry, I'm a 4W3, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Pat's going to like break something and be like, I'm a type 8. You know?
Sorry, I punched you in the mouth.
Yeah. It's just my personality traits.
So, how do you feel like it enriched your life and helped you in some small way when you took that test?
I mean, I feel seen.
No. That's spoken like a 4W3. What about you, Pat?
It just confirmed what I already knew about myself. I know I'm abrasive. And
Did it validate anything though? I mean, did it?
Yeah, it did.
Did it provide you a platform for trying to be healthier with it?
Yes, that's what I was just gonna say. It showed me where I can very easily fall into toxic traits.
I think that is the cool thing about it.
It is
It's
because
like,
it's very accurate.
Yeah.
It's very accurate.
yeah.
Okay, so here's how I want to finish. This is the Enneagram according to your favorite Bible character.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so this guy, this is from a church called Bayside in Northern California. And this guy named Frank Powell, and he posted this in his little blog. And it says, the Enneagram is the most liberating tool I've ever encountered. This is a pastor-ish person.
Yeah.
It's also the most painful, a double-edged sword for sure. The Enneagram is a subtle way of bypassing the pleasantries and ego stroking and telling you exactly why you suck.
Yep. Yep.
I've returned to this powerful tool time and again over the past few years. When I feel stuck in my relationship with God, reach an impasse with my wife, Tiffany, or make a poor choice and want to learn from it, I go back to the Enneagram. It's not gospel, and it doesn't replace Jesus. Don't hear me say that.
Fact.
When the sun sets, the Enneagram is just a tool. But if you allow, this tool can reveal your blind spots and forge a path to transformation and healing. I've written about the Enneagram types and wings and other stuff in detail in other places. If all this is brand new to you, maybe you should take a deep breath, then take another, and then click on some of my links. It says, for a long while, I wasn't sure of my number. I waffled between several. Depending on the day's mood, I might think myself a 9, a peacemaker, a 3, an achiever, a 1, a reformer, or even a 6, loyalist, or 7, enthusiast. I hated this uncertainty.
He never said 8.
He never said
He
8.
did not. He didn't want to be an 8.
No one wants to be an 8.
It says, I kept reading. Finally, I stumbled across the Enneagram, a Christian perspective. In addition to describing the 9 types, it includes a biblical character, game changer. I stumbled across old Jonah, an Enneagram 9 peacemaker. Reading his story sealed it. I was a 9. Whether you're on the fence about Enneagram in general or your type in particular, it helps to see ourselves in others' stories. Fortunately, the Bible gives us characters of all shapes and sizes and Enneagram numbers. Okay, I'm going to give you the Bible character who most closely embodies every number. As an added bonus, I'm throwing in a few famous people for each type.
Oh man, I'm not gonna like this.
And he's actually giving fictional characters as well. Okay, so here's type 1. Type 1, reformer or idealist, biblical figure, Paul.
Okay.
How about
Accurate.
that? Yeah.
Accurate.
Ones need everyone and everything buttoned up. They do things the right way because no one meets their astronomically high standards. Ones often fill up with anger that boils over in the form of resentment. Biblical character most associated with this type. Hello, could this be any more obvious? It's the Apostle Paul.
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed lover of the law and a Pharisee enforcer of the right way, even to the point of murder.
Yeah.
This, of course, describes Paul before the Damascus Road experience. Once he started following Jesus, he gave up his murderous ways. He did not, however, abandon his passion for a just world.
He stayed one. Yeah.
You see his dark, unhealthy side. You also see clearly how God redeems his core passion, justice, and for his glory.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay.
And Nelson Mandela. Those types.
Yeah.
Okay. So, type 2, helper. Biblical figure, John, the beloved disciple. 2s are keenly aware of everyone's needs, which is noble, except in doing so, 2s ignore their own needs.
Yeah.
They're natural givers, but they struggle to receive, either from a neighbor or from God. John is the only apostle who remains with Jesus at the cross. His gospel, as well as his letters, focus on love. Other famous 2s, Princess Diana, Desmond Tutu, Hagrid of Harry Potter fame,
Oh, nice.
and Princess Leia.
How'd they get those people to take the Enneagram test?
I don't know, but they did. Type 3, achiever, biblical figure, Jacob. 3s are image conscious. They have an uncanny ability to appear successful and important regardless of the crowd. They tend to forget their identity around their successes. Richard Rohr says, no character in the Bible embodies any Enneagram number more completely than Jacob embodies a 3. Remember his story? He fights with his brother Esau in the womb. He devises a plan with his mom Rebecca to steal the birthright. Jacob pretends to be Esau, receives his father's blessing, on and on and on. He flees from Esau on the journey. He has a dream that includes, wait for it, a ladder. There you go.
This is a fun game. I've never thought
This
of it
is a
this
fun
way.
game.
Here's other famous 3s, Oprah Winfrey, Justin Bieber, Scarlett O'Hara of Gone with the Wind, and Ron Weasley from Harry Potter. Okay, type 4. Individualists.
Here we go.
Guess who we get to be?
Oh,
Joseph.
okay.
Which
I like
Joseph?
that.
Yeah.
Coat of
It's
many
got to be the
colors?
coat of many colors,
many
man. Got that
colors, yep.
fashionista style, man.
4s are creative and sensitive types. They always feel like they're missing something.
Yeah.
4s are fixated on being special, different, and authentic. Following the 4's desire to be special and distinct, Joseph dreams on 2 separate occasions that his brothers will bow down to him. I don't doubt the validity of those dreams, but it takes a special kind of stupid to go off and explain such dreams to your older brothers.
Yes.
I'd probably have thrown Joseph in a pit too.
Yeah.
After rising to second in command in Egypt, his brothers trek there hoping to find food. Joseph, rather than simply revealing his identity to his brothers, instead tests them. After a lot of drama, he reveals himself. Why not just tell them who you are from the get-go, Joseph? But this is what you get from Forrest, sensitivity and drama.
Nice.
Famous Forrest, Thomas Merton. He's a old monastic type person. Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay.
Ray from Star Wars and Loki from Thor.
Ray from Star Wars.
R-E-Y. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that
I'm
is.
not a
She's
Star Wars
main
person.
character in the new trilogy.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha. Who was the last one? Loki.
Loki.
All right, that's
I need
pretty
to-
cool.
I'm missing a 5 here.
Uh-oh.
Shoot. I don't even know how to get there. How do I get there?
Enneagram 5 Bible character?
Yeah. What is this called? Well, we're gonna move on. The 5 is the investigator, and all it tells me is, oh yeah, here it is. I got it.
Okay,
Good.
cool.
Okay, a 5, a biblical figure, Thomas, doubting Thomas.
Doubting Thomas.
Yeah. How about that? They're independent. They observe the world rather than engage it. Mostly observe a world of lack, not enough. This leads 5s to withhold love and affection, especially from those closest to them. If you identify with Thomas the Apostle, who refuses to believe in a risen Jesus unless he touches the nail-scarred hands, you might be a 5. Seeing is believing for Thomas. Famous 5s, Albert Einstein, Bill Gates, Albus Dumbledore from Harry Potter, Sherlock Holmes. How about that?
I like that they add Harry Potter characters
I know.
in here,
I
just
love
as a shot to really
I
oversensitive.
We
know.
just watched
I
it
know.
again the other night.
Did
I
you?
love Harry Potter.
Type 6, loyalist.
Okay.
Biblical figure,
Simon the Zealot.
Peter.
Ah.
Chopping them ears off, man.
6s are loyal, practical, and witty. 6s are worst-case scenario specialists. They're always looking for some authority or leader to make them feel secure. Peter's a 6, fiercely loyal to his master. He was prepared to die with him. When the mob comes, he slices off a dude's ear.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in typical 6 fashion, he also flees when things get tough. He famously denies association with Jesus 3 times over.
Ugh.
But his
Yeah.
loyalty to Jesus brings him back to the fold. Other famous 6s, Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh. I don't know which one's worse, that or Rosie.
I shouldn't have left that hard.
Yeah. J.R.R. Tolkien.
Okay. Wow, that's 2 big differences.
Frodo Baggins from Lord of the Rings. And Finn from Star Wars, who I also don't know.
I don't know who that is either.
Yeah. All right, type 7. We're almost
Stormtrooper.
done. Enthusiast. Biblical figure, King Solomon. How about that?
He's pretty enthusiastic about some stuff.
7s are fun. Having 98 wives and 152 concubines is
I was going to
fun.
say, Solomon was having a good time, man.
Spontaneous, adventurous. They tend to do everything too much in an attempt to avoid anything hard or painful.
Yeah.
7s are fixated on immediate gratification, making them especially vulnerable to addiction.
Yeah.
Solomon became one of the wealthiest, most powerful kings in the history of Israel. He was also wise, but his undoing was his love for women. He slept with more than a few. Some of them were not Israelites, and they convinced Solomon to build a temple to their gods.
Yeah.
He did, turned away from God to worship those gods. Other famous 7s, Robin Williams, Benjamin Franklin, Peter Pan, and Poe Dameron.
Peter Pan? How is Peter Pan?
I was going to say Charlie
All about
Sheen.
Just never wants to grow up.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie Sheen's a 7.
Gotta be.
Gotta be.
Tiger's blood, man. He's
All
got to
right.
be.
Type 8 is a challenger.
Oh.
This is who I thought it would be.
This is what I thought.
Judas?
Samson.
Oh.
Yeah. Samson.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, Samson's
Oh,
got to be a
great.
type
This
8.
has got to
So-
say some good stuff.
Dude, this is great. That's my
Okay.
favorite character, man.
Eights are commanding, intense, and confrontational. Act now, apologize later. They fight for justice, advocate for the powerless, but they also struggle to admit weakness. They can domineer over people. Their greatest fear is vulnerability. Yeah. Samson embodies the strong, commanding energy of an 8, the idyllic image of a strong hero. He kills a lion with his bare hands. He destroys 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of a jackass. Samson falls in love with Delilah, tells her the source of his strength, his flowing locks. Philistines capture him, gouge his eyes out. Standing among thousands of Philistines, Samson asks God for strength one more time, collapses the supporting pillars, killing everyone, including himself.
That's got the hair.
Martin Luther King Jr., Muhammad Ali. All right.
Uh-huh.
Darth
Float like a
Vader.
butterfly, sting like a bee.
Darth Vader. And Han Solo.
Really?
They're both
Han
8s.
and Darth.
Yeah.
That's
And here we
interesting.
go. This is the last one. Type 9, Peacemaker,
Loser.
Jonah. 9s are laid back and accommodating. Meh is a great motto for 9s, especially on the unhealthy side. They avoid conflict at all costs. Lacking focus and drive, 9s can go the entirety of their lives without a true identity or purpose. Jonah, the reluctant prophet, is a 9. Tasked by God to preach in Nineveh, Jonah runs the opposite way. He hops the ship, hoping to avoid the godless Ninevites. You can't outrun God, though. After being thrown overboard and swallowed by a big fish, Jonah begrudgingly agrees to preach to the Ninevites. Surprisingly, they listen and repent. This upsets Jonah. Not long after, he wants to kill himself. A recurring theme in this story. In Jonah's story, you see the spiritual slothfulness that often defines a 9. He's unconcerned with the salvation of the Ninevites and unconcerned with his own life. Cedia on full display. Other famous 9s: Abraham Lincoln, Dalai Lama, Harry Potter from Harry Potter, and Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. So there you go. A Bible character for every Enneagram number.
That was fun.
That was fun.
So,
Dalai Lama.
taboo or not?
I think if you make it a bigger deal than it is.
I was just going to say, it depends on which circle you talk to.
Yeah.
But I would say, I think it's no different than just any other psychological tool out there.
Yeah.
But what about its mystical origins, Pat? Does that bother you any?
Well, what about every doctor taking the hypocrisy oath? What is it? The Hippocratic oath. And that's all based upon...
The black bile oath?
Yes.
The
It's
black
all based
bile.
upon him. So, I mean, every doctor then.
Well, you know.
So medicine. Yeah, medicine's just a occultist thing.
Well, also,
some would
too,
say that, yeah.
I mean, if you ask someone in the 1600s about a vehicle that would drive without a horse, they'd say, you're crazy. It's magic.
Yeah. No, I think it's cool. I think it's just a cool thing.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's cool to reflect. I think we can, the self-help thing gets really overboard, but I think that it's also, I think that a person ought to try to have an idea of who they are.
Well, I mean, I think, Peter, that this article, the way that it opened up is perfect. I mean, it's not scripture.
Yeah.
It's just a tool. And I think it's no different than the AI. Will be said.
Yeah.
I think that you could possibly, might be able to make a small case for, sort of mystic, multi-religion kind of origins.
Sure.
But I don't think that the religious side of it really played much of a part in its origin. I think it was more of a way of trying to find a way to balance the essence of the ego without any of the psychological knowledge or physical knowledge of the brain that we have today.
About as much as Nike has, the goddess Nike has on the shoe.
Well, right. I mean, it's symbolic, I guess, if anything. You could go down a rabbit trail, I believe, and get to New Age if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to try a little bit hard with this thing.
Yeah.
Not so much, we talked about yoga on one of our other episodes.
Yeah, we did.
I think it'd be easier to slip into New Age with yoga.
I do too.
For
sure. Totally agree.
For sure.
And if your personal convictions say, I got to stay away from that.
Then
Then listen to that. Yes.
Stay away.
Completely.
Yep.
You might be a 9.
Yeah. You're an Enneagram 0.
Yeah.
That's right. Anyway, this was a lot of fun.
It was. Yeah.
It's the first time I'd really kind of dove into it in a while. So, leave us bunches of comments. We want to hear about all of your wings and all of your arrows.
Yes, we want to know what our listeners are.
We want to know what your chakra is doing right now and how much karma you've experienced lately, and your use of sage and other mystical herbs.
That's right.
Now, just let us know, and we'll be happy to.
I want to know what my
comments.
sister-in-law's is. She is a psychology person
And is also a listener.
Yeah,
She is.
A watcher.
I guarantee you, Nora, Liz, and Marcy are all ones.
I mean, Marcy is a 1.
I can guarantee
she took
you
the test
they
tonight.
are all ones.
She's a 1 with, and I'm gonna tell you, she's a 1 with the 9, like 1 wing 9. So she's a peacemaker, which I knew. I'm like, and she comes from a lineage of perfectionists.
There you go.
So
Peacemaking perfectionist.
yes,
I love that.
So we are a great blend. That's where Pat, I think you had said like you and Stacy are totally different.
Total
and
opposites.
That's how Marcy and I am.
Yeah,
And so
I'm an 8. Stacy's a 9.
I'm afraid for Miss Karen to take the test because then she will wake up to the fact that she married the wrong man.
Yeah. I will try to headbutt a rhino, and Stacy is like, I'll take a picture of the rhino and post it on Facebook.
I just hope Marcy will acknowledge what a romantic man I am now.
You will not be nearly romantic enough for the perfectionist.
That's true.
Just stop trying.
Yes.
Yeah, the truth is, you really are inadequate.
I know. Hey, I've been saying it all along.
No.
All right, guys. We do want to hear. Let us know. Let us know what your numbers are and all that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm curious.
As a very,
Have fun with it.
as a very famous TV personality used to say, "You're special."
Guys, we'll catch you next week.